There's a good chance you see a grown man cry in this live stream. And no, it's not because Sydney Sweeney is dating Scooter Braun, but it's because this is my last fantasy football draft of the year. We're going to do a couple in the live stream tonight. Y'all know I have live streamed fantasy football drafts every single day since April. I've been grinding away, trying to win another one of these underdog tournaments, doing everything that I can, everything at my disposal. And hopefully I've already drafted a winner. Hopefully I've already drafted something that will win us our next tournament on Underdog, because I haven't done it in a couple of years, and it could be nice to say, again, oh, look, I won $150,000 here last year. Oh, look, I won $500,000 last year. That would be a nice statement to be able to make, but it's going to take a good team. It's going to take a whole lot of luck, and we're going to try to do what we can in this draft by starting it off with CeeDee Lamb at pick 4. Underdog, you do have to draft. You have to start 3 wide receivers every week, so you have to draft these wide receivers pretty damn early. And Vinny says, a winner. Don't you mean multiple winners? Yeah, hopefully we get technically. I think I am the only person who's ever won multiple Underdog tournaments in the same season. So it's possible. It's possible we have multiple winning teams out there. And Jawan Jennings extended. I did not see this Jawan Jennings news. Let me pull this up. Is that true? If so, we may have to update some rankings. Jennings is going to be a happy guy. Is that what you're telling me? Yes, Jawan Jennings. This is a fake deal almost. Jawan Jennings reached an agreement on a deal that will add $3 million in playing incentives. That's it. That's what this was all about. You missed all of training camp. So you may earn like a 15% raise? Well, maybe you move down Ricky Pearsall just a bit. The more important thing, at least that I saw last, is Christian Kirk didn't practice. So Kirk being injured, it will be interesting to see where these Houston Texans wide receivers go, like Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins in this. But Saunders says, did you win any big tournaments last year? I did not win any big tournaments last year. I did not win any small tournaments last year. I did not win any tournaments last year at all, or the year before. You have to get in a time machine to go back to the time I was winning these Underdog tournaments. Puka makes it all the way down to pick 17 in this draft. If I could have started off with Puka and CeeDee Lamb, I would have lost my mind. I'll take A.J. Brown. I've actually won an Underdog tournament or two in the past with A.J. Brown. I actually won a couple $100,000 with this dude. Think he's really good at football. Think it's a good offense. Think the offense is going to throw the ball a little bit more than people are expecting. So we'll go ahead. We'll pair him up with CeeDee Lamb, and we'll have a lot of flexibility for what we can do here in round 3. Round 3, elite quarterback and running back. They are both going to be in play because we start wide receiver. Okay. And let's see. We got Josh Allen off the board at 25. JSN goes 26. I'm honestly pretty damn sad about this. This is these are my, doing these draft live streams on Underdog. It is my favorite part of this job. But we're going to take Trey McBride. You give me the elite level tight end here. No problem. Like I said, we had a lot of flexibility for going wide receiver. But these are like my favorite live streams of the year. I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, I'm never going to complain about coming on, talking fantasy football on a microphone and getting paid for it. It's a job that if you told me I would have had this when I was 17 years old, I would have done anything for it. It's the best thing in the world. But this is my favorite part about it, is drafting teams on this live stream. I enjoy the live Q&As, and we're going to be streaming every single day until Christmas, answering fantasy football questions from y'all. But it's not the same as these drafts. These drafts are just, I love it. And sadly, I can't say, oh, if you want to join a draft with us tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day, go ahead and go to the link and draft with us on Underdog Fantasy. You can hit the link, draft with us here. Now, instead, if I'm going to try to get paid, get you to sign up on Underdog Fantasy, we got to talk about pick'ems. And there's no better time to talk about pick'ems realistically than week 1, because it is the week where Underdog does throw out all the promos essentially. So if you're ever going to get on, it's definitely time to do it week 1, because they have a Saquon Barkley gimme pick on Thursday night, 50% profit boost token on Thursday night, 50% profit boost token on Friday night, 100% profit boost token on Saturday, and additional promos on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday as well. Always have the most promos on Underdog Fantasy for the first week of the season. I'm going to reach... No, we're going to take Tet, and we're going to hope that we get Brees or Kenneth Walker on the way back. But you always have the most promos on Underdog, specifically week 1 of the season. And if you use code FLOCK on Underdog Fantasy, after you play your first $5, you're going to get $50 added into your account. And on top of that, there are actually Flock boosted pick'em packs that they are letting me create for all the big games this year. Like, this is all the Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night games. We actually have already created our Flock boosting pack, and it's in the lobby now. If anybody's interested in going through and tailing us on this for the game tomorrow night, it's going to be Dak Prescott to have 230 passing yards, Saquon Barkley to score a touchdown, and George Pickens to have fewer than 5 receptions. And that would be a 5X. And again, you play $5 on that. We're going to take Brees. We talked about getting him in the last round. But you play $5 on that, you're going to get $50 added in your account. And on top of that, you can take advantage of all those different promos that we were talking. And one other thing, I know this is crazy. I know I'm being annoying with this, but it's the biggest freaking promo week that I've ever seen. If you got the season pass or you're an annual mother flocker on flockfantasy.com, go fill out this Google form. Put in your flockfantasy.com email address, your Underdog username, hit submit, and I'm going to send over all those Underdog usernames, and Underdog will add $10 to your account. So definitely take advantage of that. You deposit $10 with code FLOCK, then you effectively get $70 in your account, and you get the free picks on top of it. So take advantage. I'm going to leave the link in the description, comment section, live chat where it says draft with us here. You can technically still get into drafts tomorrow morning. And if you wanted to get in a draft, this is the map where Underdog is available. You can see it on the screen now. It's available pretty much everywhere. But I'm probably not going to be doing a live draft stream tomorrow because I'm going to have to be reviewing teams on the site. So it's pretty sad. Pretty sad. But we have Lamb, A.J. Brown, Tet, Brees, McBride. So super strong at wide receiver. Pretty weak at running back. But we have the elite tight end as well. So honestly, I think we're completely fine with the squad. Isaiah Pacheco goes 68. Can we get another running back here? Do we have Swift? Yeah, we have Swift. We'll take DeAndre Swift as our second RB at pick 69. I actually was looking at this because I was having to answer a start-sit question between Tony Pollard and DeAndre Swift week 1. And I pulled up the Swift pick'em week 1. And I don't know if there's something I'm missing with Swift because I see literally zero competition in this backfield. I thought there was a chance they were going to go out there and trade for like Tank Bigsby. They were going to sign J.K. Dobbins. They were going to sign Nick Chubb. They were going to do something. They didn't do anything. And they have DeAndre Swift right now, higher or lower 9.45 fantasy points for week 1. So maybe I'm missing something here with DeAndre Swift. And we'll take Rome Medusa. Dear God, I don't think I've seen Rome fall to round 7 at any point this offseason. Getting both Chicago Bears there is an absolute no-brainer. Cole says start Dak versus the Eagles or Bryce versus the Jags. I don't know. I would try to avoid Dak Prescott if I could, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Bryce Young's that exciting of a start. Okay. Tracy goes 81. Jonathan says, after watching the Cowboys doc on Netflix, Jerry is the crap, LOL. Yeah, like I said, I'm young, right? So I don't remember like the Dallas Cowboys ever being good. I don't remember like the 90s teams. I was born in the 90s. So for me watching it, it was all like watching it for the first time. And I thought it was a super good documentary. Like, I mean, it was like a doc, like, again, I'm sure a lot of people watching this live stream right now are a lot older. So if they watch the doc, they'll probably have a completely different experience where a lot of y'all, it's going to be like remembering it, right? But for me, it was just like experiencing it kind of for the first time. Andrews goes 90. Smooth this over. Any player that's not good to go week 1, people are just moving down the rankings dramatically right now. I'm not going to go Kelsey if we have McBride. Bo Nix doesn't do anything for us. We'll take Zach Sharp. Charbonnet, you don't really get the usable weeks outside of a Kenneth Walker injury, but if Kenneth Walker were to go down, Charbonnet does have an elite ceiling. Okay, Jaden Higgins goes 95. ETN off 96. If we get him, we're going to take Kyler Murray here, which I think we should. And then I'm going to be interested to see how far does Jaden Reed fall in the drafts tonight. We're going to take Kyler to pair up with McBride. Super easy pick. We don't have a quarterback yet. Kyler Murray's been a top 12 quarterback every year of his NFL career in points per game. So super easy. And looking at what we have with like Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed's not at practice today. Darnell Mooney is. I definitely would take Darnell Mooney over Jaden Reed as well. So it'll be interesting. Like, is Jaden Reed on the board when we're on the clock at 117? And I really like our team so far. So wide receiver, we have Lamb, A.J. Brown, Tet McMillan, Rome Odunze. I think it's a great wide receiver room. We have the elite tight end with McBride. We have him stacked up with Kyler Murray. Running back, we have Breece, DeAndre Swift, Zach Charbonnet. So it's not the best running back room. Don't get me wrong. But I think it has some upside. Let's see. Brian says, Jaden Reed went for $1 in my auction last night after I took Golden for 21. Yeah, I've actually, in the live stream, like the live Q&As, I've been doing a lot of team reviews. And Jaden Reed has actually been on the waiver wire for a lot of these guys. Like a lot of the teams I look at. Okay, Christian Kirk goes 109. David Njoku off 110. Lou says, Mason cooked in the Flock League video today. It's going to be easy to roast these quote-unquote experts when I take the fan spot next year. If you submit a clip and you actually are your profile picture, that'd be the best thing I've ever seen. Let's see. Tucker Kraft off 113. I think Tucker Kraft does get a pretty big bump up depending on the Jaden Reed injury. Let's move this back. I know who we want. We'll see if we get him. We're going to take Caleb Williams here pretty easily. We've already made a pretty big bet on the Chicago Bears offense by having both DeAndre Swift as well as Rome Odunze. So super easy spot. Unsafe Chris says, yo, basically just want to say thanks for everything this year and past. Got the season pass and it's made everything so much easier. You the GOAT. Really appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for saying that. What the hell? Cole Kmet goes pick 121. Well, thank you for that. Dear God. It's going to make our team a little bit better. Cole Kmet 121. Okay, this is going to be hilarious. Y'all are not going to get the reference, but it's going to go, is this a fake video? Is this a fake video? We're going to take Luther Bird in here to pair up with Caleb. So since we were talking about, I don't know how this came up in the live stream the other night. We were talking about like the Chris Smooth YouTube channel from like 15 years ago. And after we talked about it in the stream, I searched it. Chris Smooth. And I watched some of his old ones. This is the channel I'm talking about. Like the Chris Move. And then he would go, is this a fake video? Yeah, splash. Yeah, I watched like 5 of those videos. I was watching like all those MW3 videos. CD Lamb says we're at 100 likes, 110 actually. So it's funny how many of y'all also like know all the references for these videos. And like his channel is, I'm not going to say dead, but like it's a 5 million subscriber channel. It gets like 70,000. Like I get more views than it right now. And you go through and you go anywhere on YouTube and you make like a Flock Fantasy reference. Nobody's going to know what the hell you're talking about. But like so many of us watched this YouTube channel like 10 years ago. You can bring it up and everybody knows. But yeah, it's like crazy that so many people in this live stream like know that YouTube channel. And like all the references. However, at the same time, like it doesn't have nearly as much pull as it used to. Ollie Gordon. I think I'd prefer Dylan Sampson here. Yeah, we're going to take Dylan Sampson over Ollie Gordon. Honestly, kind of an easy pick for me as well. But if you haven't already, drop your flockfantasy.com username in the chat real quick. Every 100 likes we get on the stream, we'll give away some free questions on flockfantasy.com. So Matthew Stafford goes 145. And let's pick somebody random here. We got Slammed by Sky. Is this your YouTube name or is this your flockfantasy.com name? Or both. Do I want Joe Mixon? What's the alternative? We're going to go Romeo Dobbs with Jaden Reed missing practice. I think Romeo Dobbs, good example of like a player that will make a difference in best ball because he's going to give you some random usable weeks. Where in your regular fantasy football league, no interest because how could you ever know when to get them in? Slam by Sky, I found you on the site and I just sent you over some free vouchers. So thanks for hanging out with us on the stream. Okay, Cedric Tillman goes 149. Ivan says, Mason, do you ever try to predict MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, rookies? No, I don't. I have never placed a futures bet before. I have never placed a futures bet. I don't think I've ever placed like an over-under. I don't think I've ever placed a bet on the spread of a game. It's really all just fantasy related stuff. Like obviously I do the underdog pick'em, but that's way more in line with fantasy in comparison to like, do I think the Cowboys are going to win this week or not? But Ivan says, can you make a slip with underdog? Yeah, I can do that on the stream. So like I said, we actually have, so here's what I used to make like underdog pick'ems on the stream, right? I can do that right now, but the thing is, you're not going to get, actually Underdog's dropping the boosted tokens, right? So I guess if Underdog's dropping the boosted tokens, we can do that. So honestly, let's do it. F it. Because I should have a boosted token in my account. I was going to say just use the Flock Fantasy pack we put in the lobby because I reached out to Underdog and they let us make this and boosted it as well, where you're getting boosted odds here. So you could only put $25 on this since it's boosted, but that's something we made for the game tomorrow night. I'm going to take Brian Robinson. You get the elite handcuff appeal. And we're taking him as our running back 5 on a team that's kind of running back needy and needs some upside. But let me pull back up. Like, have they dropped the... Let me see if they dropped the 50% profit boost token for Thursday yet, if that's in my app. Or I'm just going to look at it on the site. If they drop the 50% profit boost token already, we can come up with that pick'em here. Because there are two that I saved that I like. Okay, Rogers goes. Honestly, F it. I'm going to take Tyler Algier, another premium handcuff back. Getting Algier at 172 and getting Brian Robinson at 165, they're too good at price points. So I know running back at the very top is gross. What this team effectively needs is this team needs an injury to Bijan. This team needs an injury to Kenneth Walker. This team needs an injury to McCaffrey. If any of that happens, we absolutely crush. But let me pull up. So the picks that I found that I've randomly liked whenever I've just been like, because I use Underdog pick 'em projections a lot whenever I'm making start set decisions and stuff, to be honest with y'all, because I think mainly they are pretty damn accurate projections. I do like Hampton to go higher than 9.85 fantasy points, and I like Swift to have more than 9.45. So it looks like I have a gimme pick promo in my lobby right now. So I'm going to use that gimme pick. Actually, here's what we can do. I may save this, though. Is I'm going to use that gimme pick with the Saquon Barkley to take down to 0 yards. And then that would be $10 to win 65 if Hampton has higher than 9.85 fantasy points and Swift has higher than 9.45 week 1. 10 to win 65 there feels really good. But I'm probably going to save that and do it before the game tomorrow. Just so I can show other people what I plan on doing. Or I guess we could do it now and just show people the screenshot. Dylan says, look at the Pearsall projection. Let me pull that up. But it looks like they haven't dropped the 50% profit boost token yet. Yeah, they have Pearsall higher lower 41.5 total yards and 3.5 receptions. They have Pearsall higher lower 8.35 fantasy points. Amari goes. So we cannot take another receiver here. We're really looking at like wide receiver. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take a quarterback either. We're just like wide receivers and tight ends. I'm going to take Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton, very similar to Romeo Doubs. He's a wide receiver that you would never want in your regular redraft league. You would never make a difference. But here, I think you could get a random spike or two. Evan says, just submitted a 6X ticket with those picks. Okay, don't hate me if they don't work out. But, I mean, I like them. $10 to win 65, and we just need Swift and Hampton to have 9.5 fantasy points each. Maybe I'm getting suckered because a single-digit fantasy point projection seems easy. And maybe it's harder than I think. Navi goes 194. So we need a tight end. We need a tight end, but I actually have a secret sleeper for y'all. There's this guy in Los Angeles. Y'all may have never heard of him before. He's like this year's like Puka Nacua. You know, like how people didn't really know he was Puka before. Like he was Puka. Nobody had like really heard his name. His name is Quinton Johnston. We get him at pick 196 here. I feel like it's a decent little value after Michael Wilson, Torrey Horton, and Darius Slayton. And, I mean, we haven't drafted him much this year, so it could be nice to just get him, and just in case he turns out to be something. Let's see, what is his week 1 projection? Underdog, you better have something out. Oh, my gosh. You're going to do us dirty like this, Underdog. Really? Really? This is how you're doing us. Underdog has him higher, lower 25.5 receiving yards for week 1. How dare you? I'm going to take out a mortgage on the house. I'm going to nuke that up to higher, lower 50. Yeah. I've never heard of him either. We should probably try to come up with a nickname for him because Quentin Johnston seems a little weird to say. Maybe we can call him like, is he big? Does anybody know that? Maybe we call him like something like the Giant Q or the Big Johnston. Actually, let's do the Big Q. Let's try the Big Q for him, and that'll work. Alan says, did you teach Scott Hansen how to talk football for hours without having to go to the bathroom? I actually don't know if I've said this out loud or not. I'm a little bit embarrassed about it because people call me a Nepo baby, but Scott Hansen is my dad. Now, Trey Tucker goes to 10. DeAndre Hopkins goes to 11. I'm not taking Harold Fannin here. Miss me with that. I'd rather take Elijah Royo. I could mix in some Terrence Ferg as well. But let's go ahead and let's hop in another puppy draft. And yeah, Red Zone does have commercials this year. Okay, here's my thing with Red Zone having commercials. This may be a hot take. For the afternoon slate, I'm okay with it. If it's week 8 and there are a bunch of buys and there are only like 3 or 4 games happening in the afternoon slate, cool. There's going to be a dead time where it's halftime of those games and you can show us some commercials. Not the end of the world. But if you're going to show the commercials when we have 8 games going at once, when there are legitimately multiple teams in the red zone, like that will just be absolute garbage. But again, comes down to like I'm okay if you do it. It's the afternoon slate. Bunch of teams are at halftime. Nothing's really happening. Throw a commercial in. Sure. If it could somehow keep the price of red zone down, do it. But don't just spam us when there's actual stuff to see on the TV. Okay, CeeDee Lamb off at 3. We're going to take Barkley over Gibbs. This is going to just show how much of an idiotic fish I am, but legitimately, I draft Saquon Barkley in the Flock League, and I'm like, okay, I'm in on Barkley this year. I want to just know that I can root on Saquon Barkley every single day. Every single week, I'm rooting on Barkley. Let me bump up my best ball exposures. Let's keep this stupid simple. I know what I'm going for. So we'll go ahead and we'll reach on Bark. HN goes to pick 9. Yeah, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't love the Flock League video today. I texted the editor. Let me know what did y'all think of the Flock League video today, if y'all watched it. And I'm sorry I'm low energy, and I'm legitimately sad that this is my last draft stream. But here's the video. If y'all haven't seen it already, just look up Flock League on YouTube. In my opinion, by far and away the best fantasy football YouTube content you can find. Not even really close. But we got a lot of people saying it was good. Okay, Zach did carry. It looks like a lot of people liked it. Never mind. My issue with it was what I texted the editor. So it's like, it seems like we spent 7 minutes. Reed says could have been longer, was a tad choppy. I thought the exact opposite. I texted the editor like, hey, we spent 7 minutes talking about Demario Douglas. I was like, this is a 23-minute video, but it felt like it could have been 16. I told the editor to make more cuts in it. Let me know what y'all thought. Do you agree? Do you think it should have been longer? Do you think it should have been shorter? Okay. Looks like most people liked it. So never mind. Maybe it's just I was burnt out from a 5-hour stream. And I wanted to see more of me on the screen. So AJ Brown goes 20. I'm going to take Bowers. Y'all know I've just been slamming Bowers round 2. Dylan says 19 London is insane. I think this is back-to-back drafts we've seen London go this far. What pick did I have in the last draft? I think I picked 4 in the last draft too, no? And this is back-to-back drafts where we've seen like Bucky, Chase Brown, Josh Jacobs get pushed up, and the receivers like AJ Brown and Drake London fall down. CD says the fan needs to make more clips. I demand. Well, here's the thing with the Flock League videos, and I've told y'all this before. Every single creator reads all the comments. The fans reading all the comments. So if y'all notice something and you go, hey, I want to see more clips from the fan, put it in the comment section. Say, hey, Sammy, you need to submit more clips. Amari and Hampton off 27. We actually, never mind. I was going to go ahead and reach. I'm sorry. I was going to take Lamar Jackson here, but I forgot. We don't go with the wide receiver in the first 2 rounds. In underdog drafts, if you don't go with the wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, in my opinion, you have to take a wide receiver in round 3. But it looks like we hit 200 likes on the stream, so go down, drop your flockfantasy.com username in the chat, pick somebody to win some vouchers. Joey says, I hate when you're doing the preview in the beginning of the episodes. Why? We're literally about to watch it. I think what we're going to do going forward is instead of the preview, we are going to do the like previously on. I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, Kyron off at 30. And here's also a question I need to ask y'all. How interested would you be? Actually, I've already tried this and I already know y'all aren't interested. It doesn't matter. But I will let you know anyway. I'm maybe going to stream during the game tomorrow. And I'll have the game on one monitor. Obviously, I can't share it on the screen. And what I'll probably be doing is reviewing teams and live reacting to the game. So probably will be doing that. Can't say for 100% fact, but if you wanted to come out to the stream tomorrow during the game, we'll be doing like live reaction / reviewing teams because again, we have so many teams submitted on flockfantasy.com that I got to run through them. Okay. Mr. Picklehead Tater says, do a stream with Super Chats. I can't do a stream with Super Chats anymore. Because again, I mean, and obviously I'm not complaining at all. But the issue with the Super Chat streams is we had too many Super Chats sent in to the point where I cannot reasonably answer them all. And if I am answering them all, I am 2-3 hours behind on the questions. And so obviously the people who ask the questions are going to leave the live stream. They're not going to see their answer. Where with how we have it on flockfantasy.com, if we get a question through the site, it gets sent, the answer gets sent to them through the site. So even if they leave the stream, they still see their answer. So that's why we have Super Chats off. Like, I can't, obviously we'd make a lot more money if I had Super Chats on, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to answer your question. If you like, and I don't want you to pay $5 to ask start sit question and you don't even see the answer. Now, winner of the free vouchers will be No Money Jones. Let me go ahead and search you up on the site. Devontae Adams goes 43. No, I mean, Devontae Adams just go. Both Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson used to go way earlier than this. Kenneth Walker goes 44. I need a wide receiver. Oh, we're going to take Xavier Worthy. I mean, I've been taking Worthy all offseason. No Money Jones, can't find you on the site, my friend. I can only find you on the site if you use code FLOCK. We can look up Ankle Bully. Ankle Bully. Found you and just sent you over some free vouchers, my friend. And also another issue when we are doing like super chats. Is I can't see like your league settings. So if I don't know your league settings, I don't know who's on your bench. A lot of the questions that you ask me, I'd possibly give you the wrong answer for. But with the site, whenever you submit a question, I can see all the relevant information to try to give you the best answer possible. Brees Hall goes 51. I want a wide receiver here. Jalen Hurts is so good at this pick. I'm going to take Devonta Smith, though. I mean, if I would have known that we could have had Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts with a 4-5 turn, I would not have taken Brock Bowers. I wouldn't have taken Barkley. I would have gone with Jefferson. Brian says, can't you make it like $20 per super chat to weed people out? The issue is me answering your start sit questions not worth $20. So we'd make a lot more money doing it. And yes, it would weed people out. And it would probably work a lot better, but it would be kind of crappy for us to do. Trey says, could have still grabbed Hurts for the Saquon correlation. Anything when they fight for rushing touchdowns. I don't know if you get like the big Saquon spike week, the same week that you get the big Jalen Hurts spike. Okay. Vinny says, Mason, this will be my last draft this season. Sad I couldn't snipe you on anyone, but it was a pleasure drafting against you all year. Thank you so much for hanging out with us all summer, my guy. I really hope that your teams do well, and I really appreciate you. Okay. Ricky Pearsall off 60. I was surprised to see Pearsall not falling at all with Jawan Jennings getting extended. Okay. Chris Olave off at 66. Let's see. Pacheco 67. In general, I would like another. I'm not taking Burrow here. We don't have any stack. In my opinion, DeAndre Swift's just better than the receivers. I think I would like a wide receiver here more than a running back, to be honest. Just knowing the teardrops that we're going to have on Underdog and how important that wide receiver depth is on this platform. But it's going to be hard for me to take DeAndre Swift. I'm sorry, not take DeAndre Swift over like Debo and the other wide receivers here. Okay. Jerry Jeudy goes 71. Joe Burrow 72. Jay Soisey says Mason is a Swiftie. I'm a Swiftie. So that team at 1, interesting. 7 rounds in, they have 2 receivers in there, Chase and Higgins. Swing this over. Addison goes. I'd have been excited to take Addison here. We can't go Laporta. I'm going to take Jawan Jennings with him getting the extension. Jennings used to go to head of Ricky Pearsall in these drafts, crazy enough. Okay. Matt says, how did DK Metcalf acquire your build, Mason? Well, a couple different things. One, DK Metcalf and myself, different fathers, but the same mom. And the second thing is, I mean, during the offseason, a lot of people ask me, like, oh, Mason, what do you do? You're not streaming every night. I'm generally training my half-brother, Decorian. So, like, we have the same training schedule, right? Same genetics. So, of course, we're going to have the same build. Spicy Hot sees the stash. You better believe it, my friend. I'm in my caveman mode. I'm in this office. Just start live streaming. Don't stop. And we'll see how this stash can go. Okay. AJ says Ricky Pearsall going ballistic this week. We literally just looked this up. Ricky Pearsall right now on Underdog is higher or lower 41.5 receiving yards. So I would either, one, maybe temper your expectations just a little bit, or two, go smash the higher than 41.5 yards. Person says you should stream for the Flock League on Championship Sunday and react to the games as they happen. Hypothetically, if there's a world where that channel like has 100,000 subscribers by the time Championship is coming around, I think we try to do another Flock week and we try to all meet up in like Hawaii. I haven't pitched it to the guys yet. We're seeing how good that channel can do. But if that channel does go nuclear, which I think it could, in my opinion, it's like better than this channel. We're going to take Tyron Tracy here pretty easily. I think we may get together, or I'm going to try to pitch them. The issue with it, and I think it would be like very easy of a pitch and it'd be very easy to like commit to doing now, is the Championship Sunday is like the same week as the holidays, right? So I remember last championship week, we had games on Christmas. So it's like, obviously, we all like the Flock League, and it's all very important, but it's going to be hard to convince the other guys, hey, don't hang out with your family on Christmas. Why don't you come hang out with me instead so we can sweat the Flock League finals? Okay, Baker, we don't have a stack for. Purdy, we do, with Jawan Jennings. So we can go ahead and we can take Brock Purdy here. Mark Andrews looks very compelling. I'm actually like ranking Andrews as a top 5 tight end week 1. With the likely injury and the great matchup against Buffalo. But here we have Bowers, so obviously we can't take Andrews. Or I mean, we can, but we don't need to. Spicy Hot says, yeah, Thursday Night Football, Week 17 is on Xmas. Yeah, which, God, it just brings me back. I know I've said this story 1,000 times, but I got the team to the Best Ball Mania finals on Underdog last year. I was convinced I was about to win millions of dollars. I literally stared at that team every single day, told everybody that I knew about it, made such a big deal, and I'm sitting here thinking that I'm manifesting that I'm somehow going to win the tournament. Turn on the Ravens-Texans game and watch CJ Stroud just crap all over himself. And just lose all hope of winning. Moses says Mason's printing money for the hits this year. That is true. And what's going to be fun is hopefully he starts off hot with no Rashee Rice. And then I can go around everywhere claiming that I won, claiming that Worthy was a massive hit. And even if he slows down in the second half of the season, I can then just start being quiet about it. So you'll just have me victory lapping at the beginning of the year and then ignoring it later on. Okay. Now, Buy Shell Tootin goes 113. Let's move this down. So wide receiver, I'd say, is our weakest position, to be honest. We have Tyreek, Worthy, Devonta Smith, Juwan Jennings. Quarterback, Goff doesn't stack anything here for us. Neither does McCarthy. I'm going to take Keenan. We can go Herbert later. And we just simply need wide receiver. And you look at outside of Keenan Allen, you got Marvin Mims, and that's it in this range. We should be able to get a running back on the way back around. Obviously, I would not value Keenan near these running backs or these tight ends or quarterbacks in a regular fantasy league. It's just an underdog basketball draft. The Dork side says, I did 3 of my redrafts today and couldn't have done it without you in the website. My God, you did 3 drafts today, the day before the season started? That's insane. Matt says, why do I feel like fantasy football's popping this year? This is going to sound very arrogant, and it is very, very arrogant. And this was my goal when we started it. We're going to draft Justin Herbert. And I am most likely just in my own little bubble, and I am just most likely completely wrong. But I think the Flock League is showing people that fantasy football can be really fun, and I think it's making fantasy football a little bit bigger. And again, it's very arrogant to say. It's probably wrong, but like the draft video we made this year across both channels was uploaded on 600,000 views. So I'm telling you, we blowing fantasy football up. It's going for it. Spicy hot is the reason. So he made that Flock League draft video. Chef's kiss. But looks like we hit 300 likes on the stream. So drop your site name in the chat. Site username in the chat, and we'll hook y'all up with some free questions. The self-glaze is crazy. Obviously, I'm just in my own little world. I'm just living off a high of getting to watch. It's just, I know I just talk about that nonstop, but it's like all I got going on. So let me talk about it. Tristan says, is there any way to use the weekly rankings on the My Teams page? Yes, it's going to be tied into the My Teams page any day now. The devs are working on it. But let's see. We got Salted Peter out here. So let me see if I can find you on the site, my friend. And if I can, we'll get you set up with some free questions. I cannot find you, Sportus. I can only find you if you use code FLOCK on the site. Let's see. Let's try to find Snappy. Snappyware, I got you. And we got some free questions sent over your way. Okay, Kincaid goes. Ferg, Sampson. There are no receipts. Thank God we took Keenan Allen where we did. We're gonna take Sampson. I know we took Sampson in the last draft. Maybe Judkins is the better pick straight up over Sampson because Judkins is just a significantly better running back. And on a team like this where we have Swift, Barkley, Tracy, it's not like we need production early, right? Chalk Mike out here. I mean, sorry, Chalk Milk. You throw me off with the L and the E in the name. I appreciate you always hanging out with us in the stream, my guy. So Jake Ferguson goes 146. What do we want? Rice does nothing for us. Cam does nothing for us. Tua, we could reach on Tua. Honestly, I may. What's the alternative? We take Jaden Blue. We're going to reach on Tua. We could possibly get Tua on the way back around, but I don't care about any of these other players. And it's not like we don't need a running back. We have Barkley, we have Swift, we have Tracy, we have Sampson. Very rarely are y'all going to see me go through and reach that much to complete a stack of ours. But one, I do think that Tua could possibly be the best pick on the board. Two, don't really like anybody there. And three, I think we're definitely in play to take a third quarterback with going QB at picks 100 and 124. Okay. Yeah, Nick Chubb, Jaden Blue both go off after. I believe, I could be wrong, but Nick Chubb may still be my number one running back in terms of dollars spent in these drafts. So we very much are still hoping that Nick Chubb crushes. And I have Nick Chubb in the Flock League. Realistically, like in redraft leagues, though, he's probably not as exciting just because the ceiling's severely capped. Here in like these underdog drafts, the hope that you have if you're drafting, or if you drafted Nick Chubb a bunch in rounds like 17 and 16 like I did, is you are hoping that he turns into like Kareem Hunt from last year. Like Kareem Hunt from last year doesn't really matter in your regular redraft league, but if you get that in rounds like if round 17 of an underdog draft, that is massive. Okay, Isaac Tesla off the board. Stafford goes. Obviously, we're hoping QBs. Brian Robinson falling a ton in this one, too. I mean, again, you view Brian Robinson just like Tyler Algier. I think he's an interesting pick. We're going to take Najee Harris over him, though. Like, I would assume that Najee would be steaming up ADP with the reports that he's good to go at this point. But for us to get him 8 picks after 165, Najee may have been the best pick in this draft. And we're done at running back. We're done at quarterback now. We're only wide receiver and tight end. And wide receiver, we are definitely the weakest at. Like, wide receiver is a much, much higher priority. Chig off 169. Gino goes 170. I think it's probably obvious who we want. We need a receiver. We have Justin Herbert. We can just take Trey Harris. So this team would need like the legitimate impossible to happen. Like, I would never, ever, ever be willing to say this on camera because, I don't want to make a fool of myself. But what this team would need to happen, as we have Keenan Allen and Trey Harris on the same squad, is this team would need Quentin Johnston to, I guess, maybe get hurt. Something would have to happen to Quentin Johnston, like to open up a path for these other wide receivers. It's probably not going to happen. I think we all can agree the most likely outcome is Quentin Johnston dominates with 10 to 15 targets a game, the clear alpha in said offense, and neither Trey Harris or Keenan Allen are relevant. But maybe if he gets injured, then this team could do something. Solid Jagan says the big Q can actually get hurt. I don't know. I mean, he is pretty indestructible. Brian Robinson makes it all the way down to 179. How are you not taking Brian Robinson over Tajee Spears? Spears and Brian Robinson at this point are both just backup running backs, but one's healthy and one's not. Again, I'm not even a Brian Robinson guy. It's not like I drafted a bunch of Brian Robinson this year. But at this price point, you could talk me into it. Woody Marks goes 192. Harold Fanta 184. Like, we're going to need to take another tight end when we have Bowers, but we only need one more, right? So, and we can do the same thing that we did with McBride in the last draft, where we can just take some random bum tight end around 18. Slayton goes 187. No way in hell I draft Jalen Coker. Coker goes. Good for us. Actually, I think we probably go with the tight end here. Tight end most people are going to like to be Cade Otton, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Jonnu Smith. I don't know what got people so off of Jonnu at this point. Again, I'm never going to go make a video of it because Jonnu Smith's not going to matter in like your regular ESPN, Yahoo, Sleeper fantasy league. But in Underdog best ball drafts, to get Jonnu Smith as like a tight end 3, again, seems like it could be a spot where it's like the best pick on the board. I'm not going to take Quentin Johnson in this draft, primarily because we already have Herbert, we have Keenan, we have Harris, we have Najee. So you're already sitting with 4 Chargers, and really if Keenan and Trey Harris are going to do anything, it's going to be because Quentin Johnson's a turd. Like, that's what would have to happen. And you could say, well, maybe Ladd McConkey gets hurt and then all 3 of these wide receivers are good. Maybe, but if Ladd McConkey got hurt, it probably wouldn't be a great thing for Justin Herbert. So I don't want to draft as if that's a possibility on a team where we're relying on Justin Herbert. Maybe you could say, well, Mason, you got 2 other quarterbacks, so maybe see the quarterback scores from the other guys in weeks 16 and 17 carry you. That is a possibility. Okay. But I'm just thinking it's already 11 where I'm at here, and I'm about to have to make tomorrow's video. So it's going to be a late night. So sadly, this is probably going to be our only draft we're going to do on this stream. I'm sorry, our last draft on the stream. We did one as well. We're going to take a wide receiver in the last round. Big day tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be live for 7, 8, 9 hours, answering questions, reviewing teams. And I'm probably going to be live during the game and doing like a live reaction / reviewing teams because I'm backed up on a bunch of teams. But again, couple different things happening right now. One, if you haven't already, I'm sure 90% of y'all are already on Underdog. If you can tail us with the boosted pick 'em pack, I think this would be a bunch of fun. Even if you just put $5, it's a 5x for pick and staff fewer than 5 receptions, Barkley to score a touchdown, and Dak Prescott to have 230 passing yards. This can be something that we can all react to right after the game, where obviously I'll be live with the game reaction. Second thing is, if you don't like that and you instead just wanted to take advantage of the promos on Underdog, like the Saquon Barkley free gimme pick, the 50% profit boost token on Thursday, 50% profit boost token on Friday, 100% profit boost token drops on Saturday for you to use on the Sunday games. If you're just trying to take advantage of the promos and you don't like that, my other suggestion would be If you went Hampton to have higher than 9.85 fantasy points, Swift to have 9.5 fantasy points, and then taking the free Saquon Barkley gimme pick, that'd be $10 to win 65. So it'd be a 6.5x. And we just auto drafted for our last freaking draft. Oh my gosh, brutal. But again, if you wanted to ride with us for those underdog picks, whether you wanted to do your own pick 'em, something like this, using the Saquon Barkley, or if you wanted to tail us with the flock pick 'em, the link to Underdogs in the description, comment section, live chat, where it says draft with us here. If you use code FLOCK, after you play your first $5, you'll get $50 added into your account. So you can play $5 on the flock pick'em and then $50 with other stuff that you want to use this weekend with those promos. And yeah, also if you fill out the Google form on flockfantasy.com, if you have a paid membership to the site there, you'll get an extra $10 into your Underdog account. So be like, deposit $10 on Underdog, have $70 in your account to have some fun with us this year. But I appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to record that video now. I hope I get to see you in the live stream tomorrow. And what we need is freaking Saquon Barkley to score 200. I mean, have 200 yards. But thank you. Appreciate you. And hope I get to see you out tomorrow.